Hey guys, Chef Kev D here. I don't know if you can notice, but we're on a yacht here in Bristol Harbor down in Rhode Island for episode 1, season 2 of VINO Live, brought to you by Vinovations. And today we're going to make an amazing Pomodoro fresco gnocchi dish for you with some fresh vegetables and garlic, some gnocchi, fresh basil, end of summer, beginning of fall. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. We're on a boat here in the harbor. VINO Live, Season 2. So really, we just get going. What you want to do is you want to have a pot of boiling water going on. That's going to be for your gnocchi. We're going to drop that first. And then we're going to warm up our pan here. Then we're going to saute our garlic and vegetables and all our bright end of summer, beginning of fall stuff with. So I have some beautiful heirloom tomatoes, which we're just going to quarter quickly. You know, rustic dish. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, knife-wise. But we got that going. We want a little bit of olive oil in our warm pan. We're going to heat that up. And when that gets warm, we're going to just take just a little bit of fresh garlic and we're going to go right in that pan. And you're going to see that start to sizzle here. In the meantime, we want to salt the water for our gnocchi, which I've made ahead of time. But you guys at home, you can go ahead and use a frozen one. If you want my recipe, chefkevd.com. I'll shoot you the recipe how to make your own handmade gnocchi. But the frozen stuff for this simple dish is fine. Here we go. Turn this up. Okay, so we're going to drop our gnocchi right into our boiling water. And we are going to let that go for about 5 minutes. And the test with gnocchi is when they start to float, they're usually pretty close to done, right? So we're going on that. This is starting to get warm. Turned up even a little more. All right. So our garlic, as that starts to toast, we're going to chiffonade a little basil, fresh basil right from my garden. So chiffonade is just a fancy way of saying we're going to roll it up tight and we're going to slice it. And that's an easy way to slice a whole batch at once. You just roll it up tight in the leaf and then you get the beautiful chiffonade like that. And now that our garlic is starting to toast up a little bit, we're going to throw our tomatoes in there and get that going. Okay, a little bit of salt and pepper, and we're going to saute that up a little bit. And our gnocchi starting to boil a little bit here. We're going to keep that going, a little stir. And we got our chiffonade spinach. Now, this is a little cheat. You use your favorite red sauce, marinara. If you want to do a spicy, could use a vodka sauce for this. I actually made this earlier, but you don't have to do that. Use your favorite brand in a jar. We're just going to use a little at the end to finish it off, so it's not going to be overly like a tomato sauce. It's a fresh Pomodoro fresco, which means fresh vegetables, and we're going to use that, not a lot of sauce. So, as our vegetables are starting to saute, we're going to add a little bit of basil. And we're going to let that go. And now we have some fun wines tonight. We have a red and a white. Jason Lee's going to talk all about those when our dish is prepared. And I mean, it's called VINO Live, right? So we have to have some wine going on. All right. Now that our gnocchi, see, starting to float a little bit there. And our veggies are sauteing up nice and tight. We're going to get a bowl. And we're going to throw that right here, right, for plating. As our vegetables start to saute, we're going to throw in a little bit of that red sauce. And we're going to bring all those flavors together, a little more salt and pepper. And we're just going to let that simmer, okay? And that's going to bring all those fresh tomatoes, fresh basil, fresh garlic, all that kind of stuff together. And then we're going to drop our gnocchi in there in about 1 minute. And we're going to finish off with some fresh ricotta, which is a secret to this dish. You guys have seen me last season. We always have a kind of little fun play, elevation, secret ingredient. This time we're going to go with some fresh ricotta cheese. If you can see that in the camera, our gnocchi's starting to float. That usually means it's really close to being done. We'll give it a stir. Now, other than the gnocchi, this is a very healthy dish. So if you wanted to do this with a whole wheat pasta or anything like that to try to make it super healthy, you can. But all in all, go easy on the gnocchi and you have a healthy dish. So we're starting to float here. So we're going to take our beautiful gnocchis and go right in. Get all those nice little, my kids call these football pasta. That's the way I got them to eat it. You give it a nickname and they'll eat it. So we're just going to saute this all together. Bring all those beautiful flavors together. And finish off with a little salt and pepper. And then we are going to go right into our bowl over here. And we're just going to plate it like this. We're going to take a little bit of our ricotta, right? We have some fresh ricotta cheese here. And we're going to go a nice dollop right on top of our gnocchi. Boom. Also, if you're not worried about it being healthy, we have some fresh shaved Parmesan. And we'll take a little more of our chiffonade basil. And we want to go right around, right on there. Now, I mean, that's as simple as it gets, guys. All right? What is that, like 5 to 7 minutes, other than the gnocchi, which we made ahead of time? It's a fresh Pomodoro fresco with some nice gnocchi, and we got a red and a white that we're going to pair with it. Jason's going to talk all about that.
Hi, I'm Jason Lee with VINovations, presenting to you VINO Live Season 2. And today we're actually shooting from Bristol, Rhode Island on the motor yacht BB. And my special friend and guest, Chef Kev D from the Food Network, has prepared a special dish. Chef Kev, what do we got?
Oh, Jason Lee on a yacht here in Bristol. Fancy meeting you here. We have some fresh gnocchi, Pomodoro fresco, which just means fresh vegetables, fresh basil, a little fresh ricotta on top, and it looks like you brought some wine.
I did. And where did you prepare this? Down underneath in the galley while I'm up here drinking these two wines,
yes,
waiting for you.
I'm down sweating it out in the galley, but here we are.
So here we are. So what I got is I've got this wonderful bottle of wine from a cooperative in Italy, Largardinese, and it's made with Sangiovese. And this will actually pair phenomenal because of Sangiovese being a short little shy grape of Chianti. We're going to give this a little taste, give you a little bit of that. And this is going to pair phenomenally with your red fresco sauce.
Perfect.
Right? So let's give this a try.
Open it up a little bit. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
VINO Live.
Season 2. So let's try this out.
I know it's good. You need to try it.
Well, let me give it a shot.
That does go nicely.
Wow. That is really good. It's got the ricotta cheese in there. What else is in this? How do you make this?
Fresh heirloom tomatoes. We used a little fresh garlic, fresh basil, and we topped it off with the ricotta, and then just a little fresh grated Parmesan on top.
Yeah.
Super simple. Took us about 7 minutes, minus the gnocchi recipe, to put it all together.
I cannot wait to see how you made this. But now, here's the reason why I brought a white along with this is that the Gavi, if you actually had a white sauce, because you mentioned before, you can actually make this with a white sauce.
Yep.
So if you did this with a white sauce, we would have brought you the Gavi. And the Gavi is phenomenal because it's got a light peach, subtle citrus taste to it, and it gives a nice well balance. And Gavi is actually from northern Italy in Piedmont. So this is one of their grapes that is phenomenal with your white grapes. So if you finish this, we'll pour that.
This is a pretty good idea that we will finish this.
So I gave you a little bit. Now, you know what? I'm going to just pour you a little so you can rinse that.
There we go.
And then, yeah, mine's a little bit more because I like to switch a little more. So that's a little red and white together. Now try the Gavi on its own, now that we've rinsed the glass. Now remember, we can actually drink the Gavi with the red.
You could,
right?
Yes.
And because you still have the ricotta cheese on there, and it's still going to cut the sauce.
The garlic, the sauce, it still goes well together.
Oh gosh, yeah. And you know what? We've come a long way from season 1.
Well,
right?
we love shooting in the VINovation studios,
Yes,
but we
we
love
do.
even more being on a motor yacht here in Bristol.
And this is probably one of the finest yachts that I've been on.
1947, huh? And that's an old school classic right there.
That is. And not only is it a classic, but from what I've heard, 6 former presidents have owned a boat similar to a yacht similar to this.
Wow, and now
Right.
we're shooting VINO Live.
There you go.
All right, well guys, VINO Live, Season 2. Chef Kev D, Jason Lee.
With
See you guys
VINovations
soon.
and VINO Live,
Yeah.
we'll continue.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.